say, oh, I'm not going to bother to register to vote because my voice doesn't make a difference, or I'm just one person.
I say one name, Donald Trump. That should motivate you. Get off your ass and vote.
Will you sue him for us?
Oh, we're going to definitely sue him. We're going to be a real pain in the ass. He's going to know my name personally.
I love it. He probably does already.
This illegitimate president who sits in the White House. That president, because he's not my president, he's an illegitimate president. His days are numbered.
Deceptive business practices and tremendous fraud. Donald Trump falsely, knowingly, inflated his net worth by billions of dollars to unjustly enrich himself, his family, and to cheat the system. Donald Trump may have authored the art of the deal, but he perfected the art of the steal. This long-running fraud was intentional, egregious, illegal, and he did all of this with the help of the other defendants, his 2 adult sons and senior executives at the Trump Organization. And so, after 11 weeks of trial, we showed the staggering extent of his fraud and exactly how Donald Trump and the other defendants deceived banks, insurance companies, and other financial institutions for their own personal gain. We proved just how much Donald Trump, his family, and his company unjustly benefited from his fraud. Today, the court, once again, ruled in our favor and in favor of every hard-working American who plays by the rules. Donald Trump and the other defendants were ordered to pay $463.9 million. That represents $363.9 million in disgorgement, plus $100 million in interest, which will continue to increase every single day until it is paid.
Attorney General in New York, who was elected on a platform of getting Trump, and she came up with these trumped up, excuse the pun, charges to prosecute him in New York. What's the latest on that case?
You know, if karma is a bitch, her name must be Letitia Karma James, because we can't stand this woman here. She has been a thorn in Trump's side. It seems as if she was elected simply to cause him trouble, to wreak havoc. So many times here in the United States, they make black women, the Democrats make black women the face of this foolishness. It happened with Letitia James. It happened with Fannie Willis in Georgia. Here, this is what happens. Now we see Jasmine Crockett being the face, always having something to say, always complaining, always playing the race card, as if we look to black women to be the superheroes and save everything, when if you look at the black community alone, they have torn it to pieces. Black women. So I don't understand why they continue to push them out, but I think it gets the people all excited. I am really looking forward to see what happens with this case. I want to see Letitia James go down. The bed that she, or the grave she dug for Trump, I hope that's the one that she has to rest in, because she has just been a terror this entire time, and she was only elected to do this. So I know more things will continue to come out about this case, but I'm hoping that she actually goes down behind it.
That is absolutely no respect at all. Donald Trump has got to go. Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Donald Trump has got to go. Hey, hey! Ho, ho! And the day of Donald Trump are numbered. Lock him up. Lock him up. Lock him up. Lock him up. Lock him up.
lastly, I congratulate the President-elect Donald Trump. And if possible, we will work with his administration. But we will not compromise our values or our integrity or our principles. We did not expect this result, but we are prepared to respond to this result. And my office has been preparing for several months because we've been here before. We faced this challenge before, and we used the rule of law to fight back. And we are prepared to fight back once again.
Die Front in breiter Formation zu durchbrechen. Im Süden hat der Gegner Zossen genommen und stößt auf Stahnsdorf vor. Der Feind operiert jetzt am nördlichen Stadtrand zwischen Frohnau und Pankow und im Osten ist der Feind bis zur Linie Lichtenberg-Marsdorf-Karlshorst gelangt.
Mit dem Angriff Steiners wird das alles in Ordnung kommen.
Mein Führer, Steiner
konnte nicht genügend Kräfte für einen Angriff massieren. Der Angriff Steiner ist nicht erfolgt.
Es bleiben im Raum Keitel, Jodl, Krebs und Butter.
Das war ein Befehl! Der Angriff Steiners war ein Befehl! Wer schickt Sie? Dass Sie es wagen, sich meinen Befehl zu widersetzen! So weit ist das also gekommen. Das Militär hat mich belogen! Jeder hat mich belogen, sogar die SS! Die gesamte Generalität ist nichts weiter als ein Haufen niederträchtiger, treuloser Feiglinge!
Mein Führer, ich kann nicht zulassen, dass die Soldaten, die für Sie verbringen...
Nicht als Feiglinge! Verreiter, Versager!
Mein Führer, was Sie da sagen, ist ungeheuerlich!
Die Generalität ist das Geschmeiß des deutschen Volkes! Sie ist ohne Ehre! Sie nennen sich Generale, weil Sie Jahre auf Militärakademien zugebracht haben, nur um zu lernen, wie man Messer und Gabel hält! Jahrelang hat das Militär meine Aktionen nur behindert. Es hat mir jeden nur erschwinglichen Widerstand in den Weg gelegt. Ich hätte gut daran getan, von Jahren alle höheren Offiziere liquidieren zu lassen, wie Stalin. Ich war nie auf einer Akademie. Und doch habe ich allein auf mich gestellt, ganz Europa erobert. Verräter! Von allem Anfang an bin ich so verraten und betrogen worden. Es wurde ein ungeheurer Verrat geübt am deutschen Volke. Aber alle diese Verräter werden bezahlen. Mit ihrem eigenen Blut werden sie bezahlen. Sie werden es saufen in ihrem eigenen Blut!
Today, justice has been served. Today, we prove that no one is above the law.
Together. James pulling out the big guns and hiring Hunter Biden's former lawyer, Abby Lowell, to defend the fraud allegations she's now facing. Talk about hypocrisy at its finest. The same thing she tried to go after President Trump. The charges she is now facing, that she inflated her wealth and more. Joining us now is the guy who uncovered it all, right? Forensic accountant Sam Antar. Sam, first off, you are a Democrat, right?
Yes.
You are not politically motivated in this whatsoever. What did you uncover? What made you start looking?
It was the beginning of a long process of me looking at New York City politicians and how they spend campaign money and taxpayer money, and also comparing their personal financial disclosures to New York State to the property records, the public property records.
What did you uncover?
Okay, with Tish James, there was a few things that were uncovered. First, each one of her financial disclosures to New York State was false. She omitted mortgages from her disclosures, and she even omitted a property from her disclosures. The second thing I learned is that she has mortgages listed on her financial disclosures that do not appear in the property records. It's strange. Third thing I learned is that on one property in Virginia, she has about $510,000 in mortgages, but she lists the valuation of only $100,000 to $150,000. Her words, not mine. Another thing that I learned was that Tish James has a property in Brooklyn that she lists as 4 units, but it's 5 units under the certificate of occupancy. Yesterday, I visited the property with another researcher, Joel Gilbert. We looked at the doorbells. There's 5 doorbells on the premises. I checked the Con Ed records. There's 5 electrical units for each of the things. You can't have a 5-unit building and then occupy 2 units and call it a 4-unit building.
And she also claimed to live in a home that was her primary residence, because if it is your primary residence, when you get a mortgage, then you get a lower interest rate. And then reporters went knocking on the door and found out they had never seen her there. So this woman she's been caught red-handed. Will Big Tish be changing into a big orange jumpsuit soon? What do you think?
Probably, and she deserves it because, when I saw the lawyer's response, Abby Lowell, I mean, I couldn't have dreamed of a more incompetent response that he made in reference to the DOJ, to the referral to the DOJ.
Yeah.
Okay. He's saying, well, it was always 4 units on her Brooklyn property. I don't care if it was 2 units, okay? The fact is that the certificate of occupancy says it's 5 units. And then he points to a document that reflects the false information, her HAMP application.
And now she wants us taxpayers to foot the bill for her lawyers. She's saying that this is all a political witch hunt. She was on New York One. Here's what she said. I want you to listen to this, Sam.
Okay.
Let me just say to all New Yorkers and to all Americans, the allegations are baseless. The allegations are nothing more than a revenge tour.
It seems to be based on some social media posts that I know were made by partisan political actors.
Partisan political actors?
Let her frame it whatever way she wants. She committed mortgage fraud. She violated New York State law and filed false disclosures from New York State. Trump didn't do it. I didn't do it. MAGA didn't do it. Partisan actors didn't do it. She did it.
So you're not a partisan political actor?
You know something? No. But even if I was, it doesn't change the fact that she committed mortgage fraud. She can say anything she wants about me.
She really can. You released more documents this week. What did you find?
Well, there's quite a few. First of all, there were some complaints made about the units in her building. And it seems like those complaints overlap the units that she claims to occupy. So is she really there? Or who's filing these complaints to the Department of Buildings over peeling paint? Or is there sublets, illegal sublets? I don't know. But these are the things that every time we dig, every time we think we reach the bottom of it, we find a new bottom.
It's like you're peeling an onion back. She claimed a Brooklyn apartment was a 4-unit property. We talked about that. Official records say it's a 5-unit. She enabled her to then save tens of thousands of dollars. Right. So at the end of the day, this is all about her saving money, making money.
Exactly. Every single financial disclosure that contained false information, she benefited from financially.
Minute left. Are you ever worried? I mean, you're going after Big Tish. She's the Attorney General. She's a top lawyer.
I had the FBI up my rear end during the crazy 80 days for 10 years, and they taught me a good lesson. I'm not afraid of her or anybody else.
President Trump, he put out the tweet of your face. You're not even MAGA. What did you think about that? That's pretty cool. You have caught the attention of the President of the United States here.
Good, but irrespective of catching the attention of the President of the United States, she is guilty. She committed mortgage fraud. She filed false disclosures to New York State, and she can't undo what she did. She can point to anybody she wants. It doesn't matter. She was the one who put pencil to paper.
Especially the president. is above the law.
No one is above the law.
No one is above the law.
No one is above the law.
Nobody is above the law.
No one is above the law. Nobody is above the law.
No one 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 is above the law.
Good morning, beautiful people. Today we're talking about a political boomerang that just came flying back, and it's aimed right at New York Attorney General Letitia James. The same Letitia James who made it her mission to take down President Trump with that record-breaking civil fraud case. She herself is now under federal investigation. The Department of Justice has opened a grand jury investigation into Letitia James, and it's directly connected to her Trump civil case. Let's break it all down. Welcome to Nellie Miranda. So here's a quick rundown. The DOJ, through the U.S. Attorney's Office in Albany, under Attorney General Pam Bondi, has convened a grand jury to examine whether James' actions against Trump amounted to a deprivation of civil rights. That's a serious charge. We're talking subpoenas for her records, including files from both the Trump civil fraud case and her high-profile case against the NRA. Now, if you follow Letitia James over the last few years, then you know that she built her entire brand on going after political enemies, openly bragging about it during her campaign. She secured a $355 million judgment against Trump in 2024, plus a ban on him running his businesses in New York for several years. And that wasn't her only trophy case. She also went after the NRA, accusing its leadership of financial mismanagement, and a jury agreed. But now, my oh my, have the tables turned. The DOJ's grand jury wants to know if James crossed the line, if her lawsuits were less about justice and more about political persecution. Here's a clip from Fox News breaking the story.
Even more breaking news to tell you about right now. This involving New York Attorney General Letitia James. DOJ has opened up a grand jury investigation into James over her civil fraud case against President Trump. That investigation alleges James may have violated Trump's civil rights. A spokesperson for James calls this a weaponization of the justice system and stands behind its litigation against the Trump administration. Now, James secured a $454 million judgment against then former president and some of Trump's company's executives, including two of his sons. We're going to continue to gather details on this breaking news and bring you any developments as we get them.
So, what's James saying, or will soon be saying? This is political persecution, a political revenge tour by Trump's DOJ. Trump wants retribution, and most importantly, the allegations against me are baseless. But let's be honest, that's exactly the same kind of thing that she's been accused others of doing for years.